My name is Anna Kraus, and I will be doing my video about what to do and what not to do when putting your baby to sleep, and how to put your baby to sleep safely. Because overall, safe sleeping habits can prevent SIDS. Now I set up a little setup right here, and we're going to pretend that this is our crib and that this stuffed bear is our baby today. There is a lot going on wrong in this scenario. First, we have these two pillows that should not be there. A baby should never have too much extra linen or clothing around their sleeping area because one, it can make them overheat, or two, it can suffocate them and make them feel entrapped. Two, you have toys. You never want to let a baby sleep with toys because one, they can choke on small parts, and two, they can roll over on top of a toy and hurt themselves, as there are many small parts to this doll that a baby can choke on. And three, we have this sheet that a baby should not be sleeping with because you always want to make sure they're not sleeping with too much around them, because a blanket or a sheet can easily end up over their mouth or their nose, and it can make their airway not get enough air, and it can also make them overheated. And then finally, the final thing that's wrong with this scenario is that the baby is sleeping on its stomach. You never want the baby to sleep on its stomach because, for one, their mouth and nose is not getting enough oxygen because their face is close to the bed and the sheets. And two, it is not easy for them to move if they're on their belly. This is part 2 to my video, and I'm going to be showing you what you can do instead of all the wrongs. So you always want your baby to sleep on its back and not its stomach, because the baby can freely move around. If they're on their back, it can also get enough air. Now, you want to make sure that your crib or the mattress in your crib is a flat area with not too much going on. As you can see here, it is just a plain bed with just a sheet. Now, when it comes to clothing, you want to make sure that it is fitted, not too tight. You just always want to make sure that the clothing on your baby when they go to sleep is not too loose, because they can easily get trapped and they can easily get strangled or wrap their loose clothing around themselves. A whole lot can happen if their clothing is too loose. Now, I know people have their questions about not wanting too many blankets on the bed. Well, what happens if my baby gets too hot or too cold? Well, this is a solution. You can always put on extra layers to your baby, but extra layers is always better than being strangled with the blanket. But you always want to make sure they don't have too much or too little. And also, when it comes to cribs, in real life, your crib is going to have a gate right here. You never want them to sleep on anything that is open like this, because they can easily fall off and hit their head, and it can become a serious problem. Because babies like to roll, and they can easily roll off of a mattress that does not have a gate or anything protecting them from the floor.